Hey everyone, it's Tori from Calypso Creative Planning and Calypso Design Studio. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing some of the answers to some of the questions that I've gotten in my shop regarding my designer project planner. So I've made a list of some of the most common questions, and in today's video, we're going to be looking into those. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so my designer project planner looks like this. If you haven't seen it, then this will be something new for you. I've already put out one video about this planner, but I still get a lot of questions, and I think a lot of the questions come from designers or other people who are interested in this but don't really know the ins and outs of digital planning yet. So it's a whole different thing. So I figured today's video can be about answering some of those questions that I've gotten that make a lot of sense that I guess I didn't really touch on in the first video that I did on this. In the first video, and I'll link it in the description, but I sort of touched on, how the planner is set up, what you can do with it, but not really like the best apps to use, how do you annotate, different things like that. Because like I said, some of the questions seem to be coming from people who aren't your typical digital planners. So I'm gonna dig into that. And I think this is the cover that I use on the website and both of my shops for the designer project planner. This is the original version. It does come with a bundle of several different, 15 different covers. So I think in the first video I showed you how to change these covers, but these will also come into play whenever I answer one of the questions that I know is in this lineup. But this, if you see me use this with a different cover, then this is where it's coming from. But you can make your own covers to go with this, and I'll have an example to show you of that too. So this is the original one. There are two others. So let me see if I have those here. Okay, so this is another one that, as you can tell, this one has like that modern feel to it. When you go inside, you've got the little tabs here along the side. And then this version is if you like the digital aspect, but you want more of the paper feel. So it has all the same stuff in it, but you get that look of a spiral binded notebook. So spiral bound, you know what I mean. I do have a couple other versions that are more of like the modern look. So if you like this, but maybe you want no tabs, more like some of my most recent modern planners where the links are at the bottom. I do have that in the works. It will be coming out. I've also been asked about an editable version where I give you the basics and you have like the actual files to change things up for yourself. So if any of you who are looking at this project planner and want that, let me know. If there's enough demand for that where you want like the actual editable files to change things yourself, that's something I could do. I typically work in PowerPoint for building up my planners, or I'm starting to branch out in Affinity Publisher. I know a lot of people still use Keynote, but I'm a Windows PC person. So I think you can convert a PowerPoint file to a Keynote, maybe. I know you can do Keynote to PowerPoint, but I'm not sure if you can do PowerPoint to Keynote. But if you're looking for a fully editable version, if there's enough demand, I could put that in the shop. So the way this works, let's see, how do I want to do this? Y'all, I'm just kind of like playing this by ear as I do this. Let's just look at the other versions first. Okay, so this is the black one, that's the spiral binding one, and I've got another one that is white. And it's set up the exact same way. It's just, it's a white background, and this one has extra covers here. The white one it's white and gold, so they have these covers. These are at the end instead of a separate document. It works the same way for swapping out your covers. The black one also has some bonus covers here so that you could, you know, swap out and get a different look if you want. But those are just so far, these are my 3 main versions for this planner. And yeah, so that's the basics of that. Let's see, let's just go to our questions. So I have a little bit of direction. Okay, so here's one question I've got. Is this project planner compatible with iPad or Windows, Apple or Android, tablet or PC? So the short answer is yes. It is compatible with all of those, because essentially this is a hyperlinked PDF. And if you don't know what I mean when I say hyperlinked, it means that each of these tabs link to a different section of the project planner. So it is a PDF file, but these are all linked, and like these are linked. So, you know, all of these things are linked. But it is a hyperlinked PDF, so you can use it on. I'm currently using it on an iPad. This is the iPad Pro 12.9. If you're referencing size, you can use it on any other tablet, any other computer. The thing that you need in order to be able to use it is not just a PDF reader, but something that allows you to annotate a PDF. So if you're working on your iPad, my preferred app is the GoodNotes app. So that is what you see here. You can also use NoteShelf, Zoom Notes. There's others out there, but honestly, my preferred one, especially if you're new to digital planning, is GoodNotes. It's the easiest to work with. It's the easiest to add things to. And it's my favorite right now. I've tried NoteShelf some, and I'm off and on about whether or not I love it. But GoodNotes is currently my favorite. And if you are new, just trust me, go with GoodNotes. You can branch out later. Start with GoodNotes. As far as PC or Mac, you can, as long as you have a PDF editor, something that you can annotate. So like Adobe Acrobat, that would be my go-to. I'm sure there's others, but that's my go-to. I think that works on PC and Mac. It allows you to insert text notes, so you could fill this out by adding text. You can add images to the page. You can insert more pages, more documents. So as of right now, my personal opinion, if you're looking to edit this on a computer of some sort, go with Adobe Acrobat. It's a good one. That's what I use to edit my PDFs after I do anything to them, if I need to change things, if I'm working on my computer. So otherwise, go with GoodNotes. So I guess that answers that. Will this work with any iPad? Do I need the pencil to write on the pages? So, very good question. So it should work on any iPad. I have the Pro 12.9, and this whole planner was originally designed, like the whole idea behind this is so that I could have something that I could take with me to job sites, to client meetings, and not have to like pull up, go through Dropbox and find files, or go through like stacks of paper, carry a notebook. I can have multiple project planners in a folder in GoodNotes. Maybe I should show you that. We'll do that. there's another question that'll go along with that. But this allows you to have everything in here. So if you're in GoodNotes, let's just go to client profile. So there's places here to write your information. So if you're in GoodNotes, you would turn off the read-only thing, and you could use the pen tool. Let me change this to black. You've got your size, and you could write, Bob's your client name, or you could use text and do it that way. And I'm using the scribble feature, so it turns your handwriting to text. So this is an easy way that you could, fill this out. And I am using the pencil. I can erase this. You can use text. You can change your font to be, anything. And this is just, I'm going to set this as my default font, so that just goes, the same. And this is your easy way to add your notes. So if you're doing it like really quickly and you just want to, just write something, you can do that. Or you can do text, and it is the scribble feature that will just convert that. And then you can lasso it and move it wherever you need to. You can lasso this and delete it. But this is in the GoodNotes app, and this is just a super handy way to write your notes, change your notes, add notes. And I am using the Apple Pencil. This is generation 2, I think. Yeah, because the first one has like the little thing and you plug it in. So this is the easiest way to add your notes to this. And I'm just going to delete this for now. Let's see. How do I enter my information for a project? I have an iPhone 13 Pro Max, but don't see how to start typing. Okay, so like I said, a lot of my questions seem to come from people who don't know about digital planning or what digital planning is. And you might be expecting a PDF that has like an editable field for each of these things. The reason why I didn't do that and put it more to, writing your notes in an app like GoodNotes is because I didn't want to limit you as to where you could write and what you could do. And then those type of fields don't go into GoodNotes. At least I don't think. I haven't seen that work. But if you have editable fields, then you're just stuck writing whatever you want. Writing wherever that is. But with this, I could come in and I could do this. I could mark this and change my color, and I could put, like little notes and be like, Bob wants this, whatever. You can't do that if it's just like, I don't know, Bob is like my go-to name. So, I could also change this, but if you have editable fields in like a traditional PDF that you may be used to like filling out documents, then it just kind of limits you. So this doesn't have any of that. So if you're looking for that type of thing, because you may get forms from vendors, you may be used to that, like fill out, your business information to work with our vendor. This is not what that is. So you'll need some sort of annotation app or program. So Adobe Acrobat on your computer or GoodNotes here. And that's your easiest way to add some notes. I need some coffee, you guys. It's early. Oh. Okay. I'm not sure how to edit this. I can download the files, but see nowhere on how to type anything in. What am I missing? So it's basically the same thing that I just talked about. It's like if you're looking for editable fields where you can just start typing your stuff, that's not what this is. This, like I said, is designed to, and if you're new to GoodNotes, this is your read only, and you're like, you turn it on, or you hit if it's got the little line in it, that means that the hyperlinks are turned off and you can write. And then if you tap it again where you've got like, hey, yeah, we're good to go, that means that you can type on these, click on these things to go through, your different things. So I hope all that makes sense. Okay. So that's how you start typing. That's how you put your information in. Let's see. What's another one? What application do you use it in? I was trying to rearrange the pages like you showed in your YouTube video to change the page, and I'm not able to. I'm a little old school as I use paper and pen. Oh, that should say pen. I missed them. Often, but finding I have too many projects to tote around. Okay, so this goes back to my other video, and let me, I would have to know exactly what she means to, like, I would have to go back to the other video to know exactly what she means. But if you're new to this, my suggestion is, if you have a linked page, don't move it. I mean, it's not going to mess up your hyperlinks, but it may throw off like where things are. But if you add pages, if you like, let's say, and remember, if you're new to this, go back and watch my other video. But like, let's say you want this dot grid page and you want to put it in your concept section. You would hit these three little dots, say copy page. And once again, I'm working in the GoodNotes app. So this is where you need to do this. You could do this in Adobe Acrobat on your computer. I don't know how it would affect hyperlinks, so just be aware of that. You don't want to move any of these template pages. You just want to copy it, and then let's say you go to your concept and brain dump, and you want another page behind this. Like, let's say you fill this page up with your notes and you need more room. So you would hit the little plus sign and say paste page. So now you've got this page right behind there. And so you don't want to move these linked pages, but you can easily like copy a page template and put it where you want. And let's see. For now, I'm going to delete this page because this is my starter one. So I'm going to say move to trash. That's another way you can do it if you added an extra page. Do not say move to trash on pages that are linked to the index because you cannot get them back. So only move to trash if you know this is a page you've added. Yeah. Okay. What is another question? Okay. I'm wondering how this planner works when you have multiple projects going on at once. So this is a very, very good question. And this is one of the reasons why I designed a cover bundle to go with this, so that you could switch out the cover and use a different cover for each project that you have going on, because each cover has a place where you can add the project name. And so you can just swap out your covers. So like, for instance, let's go to the cover of this one. This is our cover. Before I get to how you swap out the covers, let me say that I'm going to hit this arrow. We're in GoodNotes. You know, this is how I organize my GoodNotes. Well, one way. I have folders for lots of different things. So if you have multiple projects going on, you can, depending on what your GoodNotes looks like, depending on how you choose to organize it, you can organize things by tapping this button and saying new folder. My suggestion, this is how I love to work, have a folder called original blanks, okay, and put the blank version in there. So you can see I've got lots of blank versions. I've got all three versions of my designer project planner in the original blanks, okay. So I also have a folder for 2022. So this is current notebooks, planners that I have going on for this year. So my suggestion, if you have multiple projects going on, have an original blanks folder where you can have this here, and then take your designer project planner, and we're going to say duplicate, and it creates another copy down here. You can tap this and you can rename it and say, let's do a project number, and I'm trying to remember the one I'm going to give you an example for, and you can call it, you know, name it for your project. Okay. And let's see, we'll just go ahead and call it project planner. Okay, so now I've renamed it to reflect the project that it's for, right? And it's going to alphabetize here. So this is now my copy. This was the original, this is the copy. So now I'm just going to say move, and I can move it anywhere in here. So just for this example, I'm going to move it to 2022, just because we know where that is, okay? All right, so 2022, here it is. It reflects the project name, and I can click it, and it's a copy, right? It's a copy of that original. So you're not affecting the original. You want to keep that so that you can do that same thing. You can, anytime you have, like, if you have 20 projects, you could just duplicate it and then change the name on the copy, and you're good to go. So if I open this up, I can go to my cover bundle, and let's say I like this cover for this particular project. I can say copy page. I can go to this project, and I'm going to say paste page. And this is the cover I want, so I'm just going to delete this cover, move to trash, and then I can come in here and I can add the project name. And I can come in here and I can center the text if I want to. I can resize it, you know, whatever I want. And now this cover reflects that project. So when I go here, I can see that it says Morgan Kitchen. I can see all of that there. You can also create your own covers to go with this. So to give you an example of that, you can create like maybe you have a photo that reflects that project. Maybe it's like an early concept, maybe it's like a mood board or anything like that. A fun, quick, easy way to create a project. Oh, well, that looks like a mess. Here's an example. So I set my canvas to 8.5 by 11 because that's what this project planner is. And I used my SketchUp model for this project. I added a little banner with some text that says Morgan Kitchen Renovation, added my logo, and then I exported it as, you could do it as a PDF or a JPEG. Either one works. So I could say JPEG and then copy. And then, or let's see, here's an easier way. Let's see, you could do share, PDF, good. And I could just say open in GoodNotes. And this is the current project, you know, for it. I can say import as in the current document, since I know that this is what it's going into. This is for this project. So I can say import current. And so now I could even get rid of this. You could always do a temporary cover if you want. And so now this is my new cover. And so if I go back in here, I can see that it's changed. And so that's how you could do multiple projects and have them reflect whatever you have going on. So that's just like an easy way to do that. So this one's actually where I've already done that. I'm going to close that so that, you know, so that we don't get confused, so that I don't get confused. So that's how you can like use this for multiple projects that you have going on. Let's see, what else? All right, if I want to keep coming back to update the information or add some pictures for each client, do you save as a PDF, or is there any way to keep the file editable with the Apple Pen? Just like Word or Excel documents, you update and save, but you can edit again on the same file. After I download the file and write something, how can I save the info? Do I need another app to make the file always editable? So, I actually got into a deeper conversation with this particular customer. And if you're using this in GoodNotes, you can just, it's always going to be editable as long as you're inside the app. So you can, it's not like if you're on a computer where like you edit it and you hit save and then you have to come back and edit more and hit save. And this is always going to be editable in GoodNotes. So if it's just you who needs to look at this, then it's always there. It's always done. If you're completely done with the project, like everything's completely done, you can always hit the share and say export all and do it as a flattened PDF and export it that way. So it's like a finished document that you can access on your computer and you're done with it. You can always, come back, and if you flatten it as a PDF, then you can no longer edit your text. So you only want to do that when you're done, like when you're done. Otherwise, in GoodNotes, it's always editable. Now, this person also went on to ask me about if she wants to work on a file and add notes, do all this, add photos, everything that she needs, but she also wants another designer in her studio or her assistant or someone like that to edit it too. If you're sharing an iPad, you're done. You can easily do that. If you are not and you want to work on the same document, there's a few different ways to do that. So in GoodNotes, under your settings, you can turn on your iCloud. And if you have your iCloud settings, if you have it turned on, that means that you can access GoodNotes on your iPhone. GoodNotes is only for iPad, by the way, in case I didn't say that before. So it's only an Apple product. So if you are on like a Samsung tablet or a Windows tablet, you're going to need something like Note Shelf or I think Zoto or something like that. But if you're on an iPad and you're working in GoodNotes, this is where a majority of my experience with this comes from. So that's why you're getting mostly those notes. So the other ones, you'll have to check on those. But as far as GoodNotes goes, that's what we're sticking with right now. If you have your iCloud settings turned on and you have it set to sync, then it's going to sync everything in your GoodNotes. So if you open up your GoodNotes on your phone, it's going to be there. If you are working with like a shared document, you can do a shared link. Now this only works, see mine says link sharing disabled because I don't have my iCloud on because usually I'm not in the best internet. So, and I didn't turn on my iCloud sync in the beginning, so it now wants to sync 2-3 years worth of documents at one time. And it's just, so if you're going to share documents, just turn your iCloud sync on in the beginning. Otherwise it's going to try to sync everything and take forever. But if your iCloud is synced to this, then you can share a link. You can work as a shared document, or you can share a link so that someone can view it on the web. Let's see. So you can say get shareable link, and there's a preview on web version if that's turned on. So if someone, like maybe someone needs to reference this document, maybe your assistant needs to reference it, but you don't necessarily want your assistant to edit it, that would be like a good option to go with so that they could preview it, But if you want it to be like a true shared document, then you could do that too in GoodNotes, as long as your iCloud is synced up with this. So that is one way you can do it. Otherwise, if it's in GoodNotes, it's always editable unless you export it as a flattened PDF. And I only recommend doing that like once you're done, like after you've gone through everything for the project and you're just completely done. Let's see, what other questions? Can I get this personalized to match my branding, logo, and information? Yes. I've done this before with other people. So right now, the covers are all specific to the ones that I chose. The colors are all specific to, I went with something neutral with grays. Has my information down here. That's just the basics. But let's say you wanted this customized to match, your branding. Maybe your branding is like black and lime green. that can be changed. So if you want me to do that, and put your logo on here, if you want your logo on like every single page, because you could have concept documents like a presentation or references or brain dump, things that maybe you want to send to your client. Like, let's say this is just some ideas, but you want to send this to your client, or you have like a blank page here that you've done some stuff and you want to send it to your client. You can always share and export a single page as a PDF or an image to send to your client. So maybe if you do that, you want to have maybe like your logo, or maybe you want additional page templates that has your logo that doesn't have the tabs, or something like that, that is specific for sending to your client that you still want to be able to include in this document. All those things can be done. If you want to reach out to me about, having your branding on here with maybe your name and stuff at the bottom, contact information, anything like that. If you want like a blank page template that basically just looks like a sheet of stationery from your office, that could be added, those types of things. If you want stuff like the client questionnaire adjusted for your business, because this is kind of a generic one, those things can be done if you want to reach out to me and have that created. If you want a cover bundle, for instance, that matches your business, maybe it's all your logo with just like basic generic color schemes, something like that. Anything like that can be done if you want to reach out to me and have this done for you. Pricing for something like that just depends on what you want done. So it just depends. Let's see, but it can be done, and I have done it before. Oh, that's my last question. So let's see, there was one more thing I wanted to show you. So I said when I did this video, I wanted to give you some real examples. So I'm just going to go with this one because this is what we're just going to go with this project. One way that you can use this is, I don't know, without going back and looking at my video when I first did this, I don't remember what all I said before, but if you're ignoring that video and just looking at this, then there you go. So here's one thing about GoodNotes that I love so much, and why I designed this planner specifically for using, on a tablet, on the go, to have on the job site, so you can just keep up with everything here. You can get this little adapter thing. I got this on Amazon. I'm sure there's other places you can get it, but let's say you have photos somewhere else or documents somewhere else that, typically I'm going to pull from Dropbox. But let's say, you're pulling from somewhere else. You can plug this in to the charging port and insert things like that. But to give you some examples of things that you can do with this, let's say this is the preliminary section in photos. I'm going to go, obviously what I'm doing is not for my client, but here's an image thing, and you can insert directly from Dropbox or from your drive. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and plug this in and see how this works. It's kind of in my way right now, but I can say insert from and go to my jump drive, and let's see, did I put them here? I don't remember if I put them there. Okay. So like I can come in and insert, let's see. Okay. This is realtor photos of this project. So this was like a simple, basic builder grade kitchen. And so I could say preliminary, these are like as-built photos. So this is what I'm referencing. And then you can insert these, you can move these, you can crop these, you could just do this. you know, anything like that. So that's one thing that's fun about this project, this app. And let's say you wanted big photos, and you could do small photos and like zoom in, so you know, you don't need to fill up the whole screen. But if you wanted to, you could, you know, you could come in here and you could like add notes, you know, whatever, you know, anything like that. You can add text. You can do custom text boxes, so it looks like this, and so it looks like that, you know, anything like that. So you can add notes to photos, anything like that. Let's see. Measurements. Here's an example how you can use measurements. So one thing that I did with this particular project is, let's see if I can even find it in here. Is it in here? No. Oh, I swear I should have been more prepared. This has been like, it was a long time ago that I did this. Y'all just getting a full-on look at my my thing here. Okay. Well, that was weird. All right. Okay, so here's an example of, this was my early days in Procreate, so don't judge me. But I did a sketch. So here's a blank thing. And while I was there, I sketched out the general layout of this kitchen. And then I did another layer with my notes on like dimensions, ceiling heights, and stuff like that. So I could then take this and say export as JPEG. And I'm just going to say copy. And then I can go back to this page in GoodNotes, and I can press and hold and paste. And so now here are my measurements for this kitchen. And they're right here. I can make notes. I can, you know, resize this so it looks like this, you know, and it's here. It's right here. I don't have to like go and look somewhere else. It's just there, right? And then let's see what else. References, notes. These are blank sections, so if you need to organize any other thoughts. Another thing, let's see. So brain dump. Okay, here's another example of this particular project. While I was standing there with the client, we started talking about like arrangements for their island, and we talked about arrangements for their range wall, and we went through a few different, you know, discussions on things. Let's see. So we just like sketched out ideas right there on my iPad, and you know, these are some of the concepts that we talked about. So I can do that same thing, and I can say copy, and then I can come back to this and I can paste it, and I can crop down, you know, some of this that I don't need, and I can put this here, and I can like make notes inside this, you know, this document of what all this stuff means. And obviously I've got the background turned on this. If I were to turn the background off, then I just get the lines, and I can export it as a PNG so I don't have that background, and say copy. And I'm going to paste that in here. So, you know, that's just like another way that you can do it. But it's a handy way of like, while you're on the job site, while you're in a meeting, or while you're, you know, walking down the hallway and you have an idea, use Procreate, sketch out some ideas. Obviously, I didn't know about locking in, you know, straight lines in Procreate, because this was like my early days and I was just trying to do a quick sketch of things for them. But this is an easy way to incorporate your ideas in here. And let's see, presentations. So another thing you can do is like, this page has this little line here and these lines. So I kind of thought of putting like a date and like what the presentation was about. But then you can come in here and say import. We're going to add a page and go to import. And I can do, let's see. This is a concept presentation that I did for them. And I can insert this. And it's just, it's right here in my, you know, in the document itself. And so if I want to review it, it's all here. I can take this on my iPad and meet with them, you know, turn my iPad, obviously, because this is a long ways. And it's just like an easy way to keep everything all in one place. See how I turned that island into like a legit thing. Have things to discuss with them, stuff like that. And obviously your tabs disappear on these pages because it is an inserted document, but you know, just go to the next page and you get this back, you know, because it's just inserted right in here. So in like the, like your records section, if you have contracts, you know, you could keep up with like the date and the document, any notes, and then you just would insert and import the contract. So it's like right here, you can reference it, you know, well, what did I agree to? What, you know, what day did they sign this? Stuff like that. You can import that right in here. I'm trying to think of anything else, you know, this sourcing drawings. If you had, let's see, this is your actual design thing. You could do actual drawings. Let's see if I save those on here. Pricing documents, I do have that. So, you know, you can insert these right in here so that it's easy to reference, you know, come back to it at any point. And, you know, this is really handy on the job site if you're meeting with them and you're talking like a meeting with the electrician and be like, this is where the lights are. This is this, this is that. You know, it's all right in one place. You don't have to go and like look it up and pull from Dropbox or like carry your, you know, 11 by 17 or 24 by 36 drawings with you. They are just right here. You could like make note of what drawings went out what day, and then they're right here. They're inserted right inside your document. And yes, it's not the same size. You know, you could import it to where it's just like photos on the pages or the actual documents, anything like that. Yeah. And you can always, like, if you want to come back to this, like, really quickly, you can hit your favorites button so that if you go to favorites here, it's right there. So you don't have to, like, search through your whole thing. Just like if you wanted to come back to this quickly, favorite this page, and it's right here in your favorites. So that's some like general ideas of how to use this. There's a review section, so you could just kind of like your thoughts on it, whatever. Yeah, so I hope that covers everything. I tried to think of what all I could think of. That sounded lame, but yeah. And if you are a designer and want more design related, you know, content, more design related like planners, spec sheets, anything like that. If you're looking for something and would like me to do a bundle or something, let me know. And I'll try to get things added to my shop. If you have any other questions, if you want to see more content like this, let me know. I guess that's it. I guess I'm out. I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.